medyo
It was more
late
of,
na.
yeah, for SG, because for Will New Era, they did their best to hold their ground, defend the Tier 3 towers. In the end, managed to buy enough time for Violet and also the members of Will New Era to bounce back, especially the Alice did a huge part with their shields and the heals.
But I guess so far, going into Game 2, I would love to see... I'm wondering, though, if we're going to be seeing both teams stick to the same strategy. Are we going to be seeing a little bit of a shake-up? Because I feel like that's the risk right there. It's one thing that we can't take off from that Game 1, though, is napatunayan naman ng Will ng Era na in situations wherein they do fall behind, kaya nilang mag-recuperate, knowing very well what condition they need to live up to. Meanwhile, Samurai Gamers, I'm wondering if they'll be sticking to something that's a little bit more of that explosive team fight composition, or are they going to be going for something a little bit more equaled out, I say, which has a smoother transition regardless of what phase of the game we're in?
I mean, I think for the challengers out there watching right now for the semifinals, they will want to see more action-packed games. Not just that, maybe they may ban out the Violet because that was such a beast. So maybe they're actually trying it right now. Maybe I can be the same thing as Real New Era when they played that Violet. So I think in the end for our challengers watching right now, so kudos to them for supporting the Valor Cup, and not just that, watching the semifinals and supporting their favorite teams. So we'll be going into our game 2 shortly, and abangan nyo lang mga challengers because this will be a best of 3 series, and in the end, whoever gets the first 2 points will win the series.
Yes, and of course, looking at our bans here so far, Samurai Gamers, no hesitation whatsoever, going to be banning out that Joker, does not want to give Will the Era that opportunity to allow Marksman to reach that very scary power flight, tons of damage, if you will. But Chalmar as well will be banned out in exchange, so I like the ban out here from Will the Era, not allowing Samurai Gamers to at least have that potential priority on utility. But looks like because of that, what was banned out in Game 1, they'll be taking in Game 2, which is the Zephyrus.
It all comes down to adaptability and also the fact that adjusting what you did wrong in Game 1. This is the beauty of the game best of 3 or best of 5 series because it tests the player's strategy.
At sa nakita nating draft so far, Boydan, I mean, I'm really not surprised that this Zephyrus is constantly being taken. I mean, kung maalala mo ng quarterfinals, Zephyrus is probably one of the most big, if ever available, whenever not banned.
Yeah, and we all know that for Zephyrus can go both ways, can be a huge damage dealing beast, or can flex it, can flex the build to become more tanky and be more defensive. Looks like for Will New Era, they were hovering Dun Ras, but in the end, it will be SG, Samurai Gamers, getting this Ras and the Mira. So we're seeing a lot of engages again from SG, but the fact that Will New Era picking up the Senial, SG has to respect that.
Yeah, and if you look at the composition of Will New Era, they're going to be utilizing the very classic Senial Alice na nakita natin constantly, even
double support
since last week. The double support once again. So that's going to be a lot of protection from the side of Will New Era. If anything, I'm really wondering how Miggy will maneuver on this pick now. Because naalala ko talaga, ang isa sa mga miyembro na talagang tumatak sa akin na pinasa natin yung quarterfinals last week, si Miggy, because Miggy is usually that person that is really pops up above and beyond here on the side of Will New Era. But then again, the same can be said sa side naman ng Samurai Gamers is for Vittorio. Because Vittorio, I mean, ito yung pinag-usapan namin ni Rico kanina. We got the opportunity to see these teams outside of Valor Cup in different tournaments. And Vittorio, from what I saw of all the games that I managed to catch of Samurai Gamers, siya yung tipo ng player na sometimes he could get himself in very sticky situations, but if he pops off, man, oh man, there is no stopping him. And I think that was very evident in how he played the Murad nung Game 1. It's just so happened na medyo nakarating na sa point na napoprotektan na nila na nagiging moot na yung damage ni Vittoria. But let's go ahead and see how it'll go as we head into Game 2. Once again, this is Samurai Gamers and Will New Era in the semifinals of the Valor Cup.
I can picture SG going for more aggressive roles because they do have a lot of early CC, especially the Ras. But in the end, challengers will be moving on to our second game of our match 2. Again, this is the best of 3 series to know who will move on to the finals.
Yes, man. So far, very classic of what we're seeing here. Si Rubik's medyo maglilinger lang dito ulit around the mid lane just in case responses do need to be made. Pero naka-group up tong Samurai Gamers. Yes, be careful.
That's the thing with SG. When they pick that comp, they will go for heavy roams and try to go for early pickups. But in the end, they will be forced to wait things out here because for Will New Era, they won't bite. Ayaw sila mag-clash this early.
Yeah, looks like they're just gonna hold the fort down for the meantime. Meanwhile, though, I mean, it's very interesting. So it's a given that as far as protection, I think Gambit will pretty much be well covered here. With Rubik's just constantly gonna linger around that riverside. So I think it's gonna be a little bit more smoother pagdating dito sa early game itong mid lane. Meanwhile, towards the bot side, looks like Victoria as well as 7 just gonna be joking it out here with each other. So it's very calm this start that we're seeing.
And as for SG, I don't think it'll be that calm because we're seeing the items. We're seeing the Malak and the Mina going for more mobility in the early game items. So we can expect a lot of roam coming from SG, but who knows? But still, for WIL New Era, I think they will try and wait for their own spikes. But I'm seeing Malak and the Zephys in the main lane brush. We're also seeing, oh, quick now, going over that wall. He's still not seen by that Raz.
Yeah, Miggy's still trying to look for opportunities where he could get pickoffs, just really pop off. Pero nakita na natin,
Samurai priority.
Yep, poisons themselves here for Spirit Central. Pero mukhang sasagutin yan ng WIL New Era by converging towards this Abyssal Dragon. And of course, I'd take Abyssal Dragon any day with that boost up in gold across the board for everyone.
Yeah, definitely, because you want to get your items quickly, and not just that, it's more worth to get the Abyssal Dragon than the Sentinel, because we all know that when it comes to sustain, they can do so much here because we're seeing a lot of movements by SG. That's their game plan. They're going for more sustain in the map, going for more pressure.
Yes, and man, oh man. So far, I mean, very interesting. It's a bit of a more calculated pace na nakikita natin from both Samurai Gamers and WIL New Era. So it's not gonna be that same gutsy move we saw from SG earlier, where in early game pa lang, sobrang hataw na sila. It's a bit more of both sides kind of wanting to scale out a bit before they start bringing the pain to either side in team fights.
It's too early to say that Arctic. We're not yet seeing all of their ultimates unlock. So now it is because we're nearing our 3-minute mark. No first blood just yet.
Still pretty much been very calm. If you notice, I think if anything, most of the action that we might be seeing, it's probably going to lean towards this mid to bot side, because as far as the top side, we're looking at a Malak versus Senior basically. I mean, both can just easily make the response here, although very different. Whilst Malak has the crowd control.
Ooh, Zephyr's going in with a death from above. That's going to be the knockup connecting on to the Jinna with the Nirvana. They're getting melted down here, but Malak goes in with the knockup from the ultimate dance. There's the first blood going to Ross, but looks like WIL New Era will trade it off for the Zephys. Members of SG low on health. They're forced to stay under the tower and to recall back to their base.
Yeah, but looks like Miggy isn't done just yet though.
Looks like the Malak, will he survive? Getting sold out, trying to get the soul and the shield, but in the end, still, the assist from the Alice will help them take away for a favorable trade for a 1-2.
Yeah, great support. They're coming in for rewards para masigurado na masecure nila yung kill onto Cheeto because of those boosts with the utility. But yeah, I think that was a good demonstration right there of just how much WIL New Era has that staying power.
Irene with the stun under the tower, calling in the Zephys. Lupo did not see that coming, but also he saw the true two members responding to the bot lane of WIL New Era, so he will back off, and we're seeing they may just lure them out here, but in the end, he just gets spotted by the Zephys. Goes in with ultimate and the damage from the first and the second. That will be a kill for the Zephys.
Yeah, that was pretty much patience is a virtue there for Relax. But in all fairness, during that earlier attempt at the take on to 1-7, yun yung frustrating kapag may Alice on the side. But okay, looks like
there. Looks like Kurna going in for the contest of the Abyssal Dragon. Zaynal comes in, same with the Malak, but in the end, they heal, and the damage reduction is just too much for SG to handle. They get out sustained in that fight.
And that's the tricky part here with Samurai Gamers' composition. They have all the tools to just go in full-on fights, deal a lot of damage. Pero that's pretty much moot if you're gonna have all this protection coming in from both Bens as well as Rubik's. If anything, Rubik's has been absolutely on point with yung utility na nadadala niya whenever fights do, and through managing to make sure that whatever damage WIL New Era takes is minimized to a T, complemented with Bens going in if everything's Duke and Ari for WIL New Era.
So, did you see the 3-man stun coming from the Alice? WIL New Era turning it around. Now picking up them one by one. Kirk now very low. He gets singled out there by the Sevens and the Malak. But the Malak will be picking up the kill there. Gets the stun onto the Alice. Trying to go back to under the tower. Gets 2 hits. Gets 1 more hit. And it's not so close to death. And the Malak goes in for the dive. No kill secured in the mid lane.
Man, this is quite the pace that we're reaching. Ito yung sinasabi ko, Vulcan. Kanina, oo, medyo pa easy lang yung mga players natin. But once they do reach their ultimate, once they reach a certain number of items that they feel would otherwise allow them to start going for these fights, that's where all hell is pretty much broken loose in this game. At the end of the day, as the dust settles, WIL New Era is starting to build up on their advantage here. Kung mapapansin mo, if anything, it's just Samurai Gamers being much more responsive to whatever proactivity WIL New Era exerts at this point. And I think the tricky part here is kapag nagkaroon ng proactivity ng Samurai Gamers, it's pretty much thrown off calculation because of the elements like the Alice, like the Signal, which yung kumbaga isipin na okay, we think that we get the kill, but all of a sudden, all this utilities comes up and throws that out of the window.
And all the utility, Malak used that only utility, the engage, to try and escape. In the end, still gets picked off there. The memories of SG trying to back away, but again, we talked about it before, Arctic. The fact that the Alice is there for the stun and the shield is just out-sustaining the fight for SG.
And this could be it.
Ace right there. What a cleanup by WIL New Era.
Is this the finish though? Jido's the only one that's going to be coming up within the next second. But looks like WIL New Era, we're going to take the high ground, or we're going to take it a bit more because you're not wanting to overstep their boundaries. But still, it's pretty much justified here. They don't really need to rush this out as medyo lumalaki ang lead nila.
You have to calm down. You have to breathe and try and think what we did wrong here. Their composition goes for a lot of pickoffs because we're seeing a minute with the drag over the wall. We see it all the time in the brush sides. They get the priority. But for WIL New Era, getting five towers and a gold lead of, that's big, 8,000. They're in the 8,000. And now getting their third Abyssal Dragon. This is WIL New Era. Again, the first game we saw, SG was dominating the early game. In WIL New Era, they stood their ground, waiting for the late game. But now the tables have turned. They're having such a snowball early game here, and now transitioning to the mid game. It's really difficult for SG to try and fight back.
Yeah, but oh man, this is really starting to become a game that WIL New Era is building up for the victory. At ito yung sinasabi natin kanina, this is the best of 3. Samurai Gamers, they don't have any more room for errors at this point if they want to keep that goal of making it to the finals and becoming a champion alive. So overall, it looks like Samurai Gamers, they will take what they can as far as wave pushing in. At kung ano man ang matira sa camps nila, ito yung medyo frustrating. WIL New Era, they're starting to really push for their dominance here, not just by taking objectives, but even clearing out camps from Samurai Gamers that would have otherwise allowed SG to at least try to maintain equal ground in the same, to try to get back into this game. But it's a bit of a tricky predicament, this is definitely for sure.
What WIL New Era is doing is also removing all the resources that Samurai Gamers can come back into our game 2. Note that this is match point challengers. If ever WIL New Era wins this game 2, they will be the ones to move on to the finals. And right now for SG, trying their best to buy some time. That's very difficult. We're seeing Lubu in the bot lane pushing the waves in. Now we see 3 members in the top lane, same with Samurai Gamers. They're mirroring the movement here. Now 2 members fighting in the bot lane, seeing that knockup happening by Lubu under the tower. That's going to be the Zenial coming in with the heal, with the rescue. Malak tries to fight back with his own knockup. A brawl happening under the tower. In the end, that's going to be 4 members removed from defending the base.
Yes, and of course, Vittorio, the only surviving member here from Samurai Gamers. But I think this is a done deal. Ladies and gents, we have our second finalist. Congratulations, WIL New Era. You're going to face Clutch Gears for the Clutch Guild rather for the title of our Valor Cup champion. Very well played, I gotta say. But I saw the effort from Samurai Gamers in all fairness, but WIL New Era, they just played a lot more dominantly. They played to their strengths, and I gotta say, just the fact that they were able to get both Alice and Xeno was already quite the massive impact by allowing the flow of these fights to go in their favor, and just lots of fluidity right there.
And as for that, this will be the battle stats. You can see what happened, the summary of our second game, but this is actually for WIL New Era playing it so good in our first game 2. The draft itself showed, as Arctic said, the Zenial and the Alice really proved too difficult for SG. But note that, still, they made it this far. We would like to congratulate our finalists here, WIL New Era and Clutch Guild, for now moving on to the final spot for Samurai Gamers and Brain Esports. Thank you so much for making it this far. They should be proud here being one of the top 4 teams in our Valor Cup.
Yep.
So I think Arctic, we will now move on to our finals after our short break.
Yes.
And before that, yung sa mga challenges ni Abang ng Code, watch out there. We'll be showing you guys the codes after or maybe the interview or the highlights.
The interview. So, I'm wondering kung sino ang ma-interview ni Rico just after the very quick break. Kasi, ang dami talagang nag-perform sa WIL New Era. Like, it's kind of hard to pick. I would probably love to see maybe Rubix, maybe Miggy, but it could be anybody because the fluidity, the teamwork was just absolutely amazing. And I think we're going to have a great finals, Vulcan, that's for sure. So, I'm really raring to get into that interview.
So now, this is me, Vulcan and Arctic, signing off here. We'll come back with the interview of the winning team, WIL New Era.
Ayan, welcome back to the Arena of Valor Cup National Finals. And kasama natin ngayon ang panalo kanina sa ating match na si Gambit from WIL New Era. Kamusta ka naman dyan?
Okay naman.
Parang
kinakabahan.
kinakabahan ka. Meron ka pang adrenaline from the match that you won against Samurai Gamers. Pero rewind muna tayo ng konti. Ano yung game plan nyo na makakalaban nyo yung Samurai Gamers sa game series na?
Kasi bago 1 week pa lang pinaplanuhan na namin yung Samurai Gamers. Kung baga nakaset na lahat ng mga heroes, alam na namin kung anong pipick nila.
Wow.
Kaso yung first pick, nagkamali lang kasi dahil pinag-pick si Benz ng Irie. Dapat Arthur siya.
Dapat Arthur yun, na-pick niya yung Irie, pero...
Tapos yung Arcana ko kasi hindi ko pa inayos. Kumbaga parang yung Chognar ko nakaset ng Joker.
Oh, so naka-Joker Arcana set yung Chognar mo kanina. Pero panalo pa rin, naipagana nyo. So, nakachamba. Pero ang ganda ng playstyle nyo. So, going in na 2-0 nyo yung Samurai Gamers, nag-pay off talaga yung preparations nyo. Anong klaseng preparations pala by the way ginawa nyo?
Kumbaga kasi kami, nagpa-practice lang kami minsan mga 3 to 4
hours every day. Tapos?
Kasi yung mga addict sa ano.
Yeah, I see. So, marami kayong mga ibang responsibilities aside from Arena of Valor, pero you still managed to make it sa national finals. Ngayon, ang tanong, I know you guys are very happy na nakarating kayo ng national finals, di ba? Ano yung mindset nyo knowing makakalaban nyo yung Clutch Guild?
Ganun din. Parehas lang din ng SG. Nakaplano na rin yung sa CG. Kasi alam na rin namin na CG yung mananalo sa Brent. Kumbaga parang alam namin na malaking chance ng CG.
I see.
Kaya mas okay na manalo yung CG kaysa sa Brent.
Kasi mas
alam namin yun.
So I heard nagsiscrim daw kayo regularly.
Mas madalas na makascrim.
Kamusta naman yung mga scrim results nyo?
Results namin, laging gawing talo. Pero nananalo din naman. Kumbaga parang 2-1.
Mostly best of 3 series.
Best of 3.
Pero ngayon, coming into the finals, it's gonna be a best of 5 series naman. So it's something na medyo new since mostly scrims nyo, best of 3, diba? Ano naman yung parang mindset nyo naman this time na national finals? Ito yung pagkakataon na marirepresent natin yung Pilipinas. Ano yung mindset nyo as a team?
Mindset namin? Ano nga ba? Kasi basta ang nasa isip lang namin na huwag kami masira yung laro namin na kahit maraming mali, tuloy lang. Parang hindi kami susuko.
Tama yun. Tapos?
Pero kaya namin.
Kaya. Stay positive. Kumbaga, ang game plan ni WIL New Era. Again, congratulations, Gambit, for joining this interview. And of course, good luck later, mga kalaban nyo. Makakasama kayo sa ating national finals. But when we come back, ito na guys, ang finals match between Clutch Guild versus WIL New Era. I suggest don't go away.